Angkat. Break. Balik.
Well, if you're just joining of fencing, where have you been? It's the last session, and we're in the Épée team competition. Target area is everything above the waist, including the head. First one to hit, easiest weapon to understand. Got to hit your opponent with your point. Target score in the first leg of 9 is 5. And then the next two come on in a preordained order. And they take that score on to 10. And the next fight come on, adopt the score and take it up to 15, so on and so forth, to an ultimate target score of 45. It's the only fencing weapon where both fencers can score a hit at the same time. If they hit each other within 40 milliseconds of each other, they get a double and both score a point.
Well, a strong start for Gu, as we might expect. I mean, she has already won 4 medals at these Paralympic Games. Quite exceptional. Her lowest being a bronze in the individual épée. Breus looking a little frustrated at that opener. She had a tough opponent in Gu Haiyan.
Coming now for
Also, if you are new to the team competition, we have category B fencers. Like I mentioned, when talking about substitute, there has to be 1 category B fencer in the team and 2 category A fencers. And this will just change potentially the order and can really make things quite exciting in the team, seeing those dramatic movements when we potentially have a category A against category B. You expect, in most situations, the category A fencer to score more points, and that can end up really changing things over. And right now, it is Olena Fedota-Isaieva who is the category B fencer for Ukraine, up against Zou Xufeng, a category A.
Touche. One. En garde. Prêt. Allez.
Well, later on, when we do see Fedota-Isaieva up against her own category, we would expect to see some serious points scored. She is the bronze medalist from this event. That said, it's Kang Su, and Kang Su is a silver medalist from the individual.
Touche. Point. En garde. Apron, please. Thank you. En garde. Prêt. Allez. Out. Touche.
I'm really seeing Zhu just play the patient game, and she was just timing that, wasn't she, so well.
En garde. Prêt. Allez. Double touche.
Well, double touches, unique to Épée. And when it comes to a scoreline like this, and a Category B fencer against a Category A, doubles really will go in the favour of China.
There's no doubt that Morkvych is going for this.
En garde.
Can she inspire her team to follow suit with this aggressive approach? This is brilliant. This is exactly what Ukraine need. They've got to remember they're in a gold medal bout here at the Paralympic Games. The last of the women's golds up for grabs in the Grand Palais. This is a fantastic start for Morkvych.
En garde.
The beauty of the relay system, isn't it, that you can climb the ladder. Target score of 15 in this leg. So Morkvych is not limited to 5 touches.
Prêt. Allez.
Well, that was a very obvious early start from Morkvych, just getting a little carried away there.
En garde. Prêt. Allez. Double touche. Point. En garde. Prêt. Allez.
And Morkvych is quick, isn't she, off the mark? She is wanting to make the most of every single opportunity.
Prêt. Allez. Double touche. Point.
He's celebrating doubles, but I think it's Kang who'll be celebrating the doubles more than Morkvych.
Allez.
Well, a great finish for Kang Su there. And even though Nataliia Morkvych came out fighting and looking in great form, she's not really made enough of an inroad. 7 points to Kang's 5. So only changed that scoreline by a couple of hits.
And now for People's Republic of China, Chen Yuandong. For Ukraine, Olena Fedota-Isaieva.
Well, interestingly, the People's Republic of China have done a substitution already. And they have brought on Chen Yuandong. And I did mention she was the substitute, and maybe slightly surprisingly, as she is the Paralympic champion from this individual event. So, in a sense, the strongest fencer we're going to see here in this session. She now comes in as we see Ukrainians Category B fencer Olena Fedota-Isaieva. I mean, that is got to be a pretty daunting task, hasn't it, for the Ukrainian?
Sure is. And will this be the sweetest of substitutions for the People's Republic of China? Don't know, but she could have been carrying a bit of a niggle, saving her up for this match only if needed.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, she was not in the final in the foil. I mean, Épée is obviously her weapon, the fact she's Paralympic champion, but they used her in the quarter and the semi-finals in the foil team, and they used her in the earlier rounds in this team competition. But we will never know the exact reasonings behind the scenes.
The interesting thing about fencing is that even the very best in the world can have an off day, because it's so much about feel and timing that you can actually go from one fight to the next fight, fence absolutely spectacularly brilliant in that one fight, and then the next fight you just can't quite get the distance right, you can't quite feel it, and perhaps that was the case for Chen today.
Well, she's not showing signs of struggling now, is she, in this? I mean, we would expect this to be a one-sided match.
Please, middle of the chair.
Now, it's harder to tell when they're wearing these shrouds to cover their legs, but you can see there's a line just at the back. And that does need to line up with the centre of the chair. That's what the referee was just asking for.
Point number 20.
Make it all an even playing field. One thing that isn't even is the scoreline right now. The defending champions are almost tasting that gold already.
For People's Republic of China, Kang Su. And for Ukraine, Yevheniia Breus.
Another opportunity for Ukraine to claw back some of those valuable points as we have Kang Su from category B on the piste.
China certainly have got their motor running here. It's a massive lead they've got.
En garde. Prêt. Allez. Out.
Breus, very much the taller, rangier fencer of the two. And add to that,
En garde.
the extra mobility she has from being
Allez.
category A as opposed to Kang in B.
Out. Touche. Point. En garde.
Ukraine have to use this
Allez.
about now. We're at the midway point.
Point.
And this is an opportunity for them to really get back in this match and
Allez.
make some serious inroads to that deficit.
Out. Out. Touche. Point.
Satisfying hit there for
En garde.
Breus.
Prêt. Allez.
Just over the top of the guard and onto the wrist. And Kang's got to be careful she doesn't stay out of distance for more than 15 seconds. She's spending a long time in that defensive position.
Touche. Point. En garde.
Now it's a passivity card if she remains behind that straight line for more than 15 seconds. So the line that's on the back of the jacket, which would line up with the middle of the wheelchair.
Point.
Kang not doing badly though here.
Prêt. Allez.
Another interesting thing to note about the countries that have a big group of wheelchair fencers who train together is the Cat B and Cat A fencers will fence each other in training quite a lot. So if you've got a really, really good Cat A and they're training with a Cat B fencer, they're definitely going to help bring the standard of that Cat B fencer up. And that's certainly going to be the case for Kang.
Out. Point.
Breus showed frustration with her opening match against Zou Haiyan.
Prêt.
Just
Allez.
even though she is
Touche.
7-3 up now, she wants to be racking up a few more hits than that.
Prêt. Allez. Out. Touche.
Well, the reach, the length of Breus. Kang not able to answer to that, not able to move out the way in time or parry that attack.
Out. Touche.
I've got to say, Morkvych is the one that's got the level risen here. Yes, Breus was up against Gu in her first fight, but she's showing much more intent here, much more aggressive with her fencing. And if she can get to 21, 22,
En garde.
Ukraine are back in the game.
Allez.
Breus just trying to go over the top of the wrist again and catching the guard. But persistence paid off.
Ale. Out.
Oh, look at this. The Ukrainian on fire.
Angar.
Still a minute 30 to go, so the time isn't going to help Kang on this occasion.
French crowd have 100% got behind the French fencers in all the sports across the Olympic and Paralympic Games. But if there isn't a French fencer, they've got behind the Ukrainians. And you can hear them here cheering on. This is predominantly the French crowd here cheering on the Ukrainians.
Well, Karim, you said if Ukraine could get back within 21, maybe 22, they are still in this competition, and right now, with plenty of time on the clock.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I was just celebrating the hit there from Breus. They could get into the lead, couldn't they?
Well, Kang needed that point. Quite a few there. That run of Breus, exceptional.
I think she's done. Oh, she is. Since I said that, commentator's curse, obviously. But that's a brilliant, brilliant performance from her. A real step up from Breus after her first 5-1 mauling.
For the People's Republic of China.
Well, the coach thinks so too.
22.
Coming next for People's Republic of China, Zou Xufeng. And for Ukraine, Nataliia Morkvych.
En garde. Prêt, allez.
Well, here we have, in a sense, by their favoured weapon, two foilists up against each other, fencing épée. Zou Xufeng, the Paralympic champion in the individual foil. Morkvych competed in the individuals for the sabre and for the foil, but not in the épée.
En garde. Prêt, allez. Al. Touche. Point.
Morkvych just left herself a bit open on that occasion.
Got to stay focused here, Morkvych. If she can stay within, or get within 2 or 3, Ukraine have got a really good chance. The two Cat B fencers going up against each other next, and then Morkvych back on ahead of the anchor leg, which Breus is taking for Ukraine.
Zou just taking that cease parry a couple of times, and Morkvych, you can see her blade just as a result going past the shoulder closest to us. Zou.
Prêt, allez. Al, touche, point. En garde. Prêt, allez.
And Morkvych fighting for every point here. Coming out really fast from the LA.
Still an uphill task after 6, though.
And Morkvych will have one more bout remaining after that, so she'll just have to get over that frustration.
Coming next for People's Republic of China, Kang Su. For Ukraine, Olena Fedota-Isaieva.
Well, Karim, you mentioned that it's the two Category B fencers coming up next, and this will be a real, well, basically now it is category B against category B, and then followed by 2As. So in theory, it's level playing fields going for these final 3 rounds, and it makes it look that Ukraine do really have, you know, they've got that gap down to 6 points. But when you look on paper, China still the favourites.
Yeah, there's a lot to mull over here. Fedota-Isaieva, the bronze medalist in the individual épée competition, going up against an athlete who came 5th.
Please don't forget the hair. Okay.
So, you know, there's a chance these Cat B versus Cat B matches can have a big bearing. And if the Ukrainian can close the gap, which is 6 at the moment, up to 3, if she cut it in half, she's perhaps going to give her 2 Cat A teammates a bit of a chance. Bit of a long shot though. China are so strong.
Thank you. Hang on. Both please point up. Hang on. Pret. Allez.
I think Kang's been told to play a defensive game here. I think she's been told to sit back and not take any risks. I think she started that first 10 seconds and she was like, okay, fine, coach just told me to do, I must do it, and then got immediately impatient. It's just not her style.
Well, this is looking good for Ukraine, isn't it? I mean, Fedota-Isaieva, on paper, the bronze medalist, up against Kang Su, the silver medalist from the individual yesterday. We would expect it to be close.
Middle of the chair, please, both of you. Middle of the chair. Kang, middle of the chair, please. Yes, thank you. Hangat. Pret. Allez.
Well, whether following instructions or not, whatever Kang has changed, is working against a Ukrainian opponent.
Shows just how important tactics are, doesn't it? You know, that she's gone defensive to start with and shedded a couple of hits and then said, right, I'm changing this, and all of a sudden turns 2-0 to 2-0 down to 5-4 up.
The score is now 35-28.
En garde.
And we have just 2 bouts remaining. And interestingly, Gu has been brought back on, so they've swapped Chen out again. And Gu returns, so interesting choice here from the People's Republic of China in their use of substitution. You can bring an athlete back on, but only if they're replacing the athlete that initially replaced them.
So frames move so much in the first 22 seconds that the earthing wire come off Gu's shroud.
En garde.
So replace the earthing wire and then move the frame back into the middle. I think that might be called upon because that's the first hit of this 8th leg.
En garde. Prêt. Allez. Out. Touche. Point.
We saw Morkvych open so
Prêt.
well, but right now
Halt.
facing Gu. She wouldn't have even known potentially that she was going to face Gu. It was then going to be Chen and then Gu again. I mean, I know obviously a fencer has to be prepared to fence whoever they're going to match, but with that substitution,
Touche. Point. En garde. Prêt. Allez.
Yeah, an interesting point, isn't it? But I mean, the teams know each other so well. Perhaps China are the least well known in terms of the fact they're not on the full circuit, but they will know, and they'll also know. You know, they'll know how good their fencers are against each of the Chinese fencers, so they might be able to predict. Oh, well, they're going to put, you know, that fencer on against me because they've always done really well against me, sort of thing. That's it. Or let's expect them to make the substitution. So it's always a bit sort of it's almost like a spy novel, isn't it? You're kind of trying to predict and work out where you can make your deadly attacks.
talking of which, Morkvych is on a roll after a slightly slower start. He's putting some pressure on Gu just in this situation in the match right now, not in the overall score just yet.
She's got to score another minimum 7 hits.
Well, she's done everything she can do. Her role is over, as is Gu Haiyan's. And both these women will just have to sit and watch as they hand over to Zou and Breus.
Next fencers for People's Republic of China, Zou
The match to the
Xufeng.
final 45
And
hits.
for Ukraine, Yevheniia Breus.
Okay, you mentioned earlier that the People's Republic of China are less well known, and I think the world rankings have shown that in the fact that Zou ranked 7th in theory, but on paper she potentially ranked much higher. That said, foil is her specialist weapon, though. So
yeah, I mean the Chinese athletes across all sport at the moment are regaining their true rankings. Most of the rest of the world came back after that hiatus for us all, whether you're in sport or not. Came back a bit quicker than China, but China also just don't travel on the wheelchair fencing circuit as much as everybody else. Partly funding, partly keeping their team behind closed doors, so you don't know what's coming at the Paralympic Games.
or whatever the strategy, it has been proven to work, as they are just 4 hits away from another Paralympic title.
The other thing, of course, about China is they've got a 7th of the world's population. They don't really need to travel for competition. Lots and lots of wheelchair fencers in the country, and the standard is very, very high. They're proving it right here in Paris. Another gold medal is on the horizon. Just nice closing octave parry, coming up to the high line to finish it off. Guides the Ukrainians tip down onto the shroud and then hits in the high line.
Breus will just take some confidence from actually getting her first point on target. And even if she's not going to be able to make up this deficit, it'll be nice to finish with some hits against her name.
Oh, that's a nice hit. Lovely little octave parry. That's a circular, counterclockwise circular down to the low line block, and then coming back up to the top and flicking onto the wrist, onto the upper arm. Very nice. That wasn't a celebration from Breus.
En garde.
Well, Zou Xufeng just one hit away from bringing her team home another gold medal. And there, that is it. It ends with a double, but the People's Republic of China regain their title as Paralympic champions in the women's épée team match. And that is now a total of 9 golds for the absolute dominant nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new Paralympic champions, the People's Republic of China, winning by 45-37 versus Ukraine.
Et pour les remercier, pour les applaudir, on va se lever, mesdames et messieurs, debout. Ovation, faites-moi du bruit, le Grand Palais.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, ovation for the champions!
Applaudissements également pour l'équipe d'Ukraine, médaillée d'argent.
Please clap your hands and clap your hands too for the silver medalist, the team of Ukraine. The teams will be back later for the victory ceremony. We'll keep you informed and we'll celebrate them one more time.
Encore une fois, on peut applaudir les deux équipes, la République populaire de Chine et l'Ukraine. On peut encore les applaudir au passage devant les tribunes. Bien évidemment, l'Ukraine médaillée d'argent, la République populaire de Chine championne paralympique Paris 2024. Et restez bien avec nous, on retrouvera ces deux équipes tout à l'heure sur la cérémonie des vainqueurs. Et dans quelques minutes, dans une bonne trentaine de minutes maintenant, la dernière finale. La finale chez les hommes pour la médaille d'or.
Coming next in about 30 minutes, the last match, and what a match. That will be the match for the gold medal for men. As teams, yeah, of course. But we will have good time together for. Don't worry, we are about to make you propositions, don't worry. Stay in positions.